watching UnrealEntGaming. This is Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans. Make sure you subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and push the like button for me. Or else you'll be Hakai. Not Beerus. You know how this works. Make sure you enable all notifications on the channel and watch the entire video all the way through. And don't forget to follow UnrealEntGaming on both Instagram and Twitter. That's enough! On with the video.
As the training session involving both God of Destruction Toppo and Jiren within Universe 11 subsides, with Angel Margarita now stepping forward in presenting a uniquely different idea to Jiren in wanting to help Jiren discover his weaknesses in molding him into becoming a much greater fighter than how he is right now, with Margarita understanding that there seems to be something that is bothering Jiren. The million-dollar question going forward is, will the Angel Margarita be able to help Jiren patch up his weaknesses in becoming a much better fighter than how he was before? Or will Jiren's past ultimately come back to haunt him in preventing Jiren in becoming the warrior he was destined to be? Now, before we dive any further into this video, if you are new to the channel and of course have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball related, including its manga, anime, video games, fan animations, fan mangas, and more, in which would also like to be kept up to date with everything in regards to the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Dragon Ball Super anime, Dragon Ball video games, and any and all additional content within the Dragon Ball universe, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply excited to see what the future holds for the Dragon Ball franchise. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and now let's dive straight into the video. As our story continues with an angered Jiren being shown having to still train with Angel Margarita, with Margarita shown having to do her best in trying to dig deep and tapping into Jiren's emotions, it was from that point on where Jiren went on to address Margarita by telling her, "Enough of this! There is nothing that prevents me from achieving absolute strength. You think playing these foolish mind games will work on me? Since you were a child, the only other emotion that you were ever able to feel deep down was pain," Margarita says. "The pain of watching those who turn their backs on you walk away. The pain of being unable to make your master proud after all those years," she says. "If you were to see Master Geechen now, what would you tell him, Jiren? Do you think your master would want to see you struggle with your emotions this much?" As Belmont went on to chime in, "Easy now, Margarita. Let's not go a bit overboard with this. How else do you expect to evolve if you're constantly thinking about the past, Jiren? Your future isn't dictated by the events of what happened before, they are dictated by the events of what is happening right now. So that is the one thing holding Jiren back from greatness," Toppo says. "The pain of loss that stems from his childhood." As Belmont responds, "As powerful as Jiren is, his past does tend to get in the way of his ultimate goals at times, but the task is to help him discover himself, not destroy himself in the process." As within that very moment, we then get to see how once again Margarita and Jiren had engaged once more, with Margarita shown having to leap in action. That's when she went on to continue by telling Jiren, "Your master wouldn't want you to dwell on the past, but accept it for what it is and learn from these mistakes in order to grow," she says. But even then, Jiren is not having it, as Jiren went on to shout, "Enough! You never knew Master Geechen. You don't know what you're talking about," he shouts. But with Margarita shown having to avoid Jiren's attack, it was from there where Margarita went on to put Jiren's actions into question by asking, "Are you starting to see the difference? You aren't focused when you're dwelling on the events of something that had already happened long ago," she says. "To evolve, you first must let go." Margarita has figured out what slows Jiren down, Belmont says. "The emotions that he keeps bottled up inside is what triggers him in battle. It it's not that Jiren is weak physically, but vulnerable emotionally. In which, as Margarita and Jiren are shown having to bounce back and forth, that's when Margarita went on to tell him, there is something that I can sense deep inside of you that is just waiting to be set free, she says. But in order for that to happen, she adds, you must first let it go, Jiren. To where as Margarita was shown uppercutting Jiren in the stomach and then later having to kick him in the face, with Jiren's body shown ricocheting off the floor, Margarita then went on to continue, this is the final door that needs to be opened. The door that will lead you down the path of great power, she says. The power that you seek. The power that was once used against you during the tournament. But as soon as Jiren had gone and standing back up, that's when he went on to respond to Margarita by telling her, I won't let you do this. You know nothing of my past. How can you say that what prevents me from achieving absolute strength is my memory from the past? It's what drives me, Jiren shouts. It's what pushes me to know that all I ever had was myself. I stand united with my Pride Troopers today, but by no means do I have any weaknesses that hinders from me achieving greatness, he says. Then if this is what you truly believe, Margarita says, then allow for me to show it to you. As the moment Margarita had gone in spawning her staff and then making her way towards Jiren, it was within that very moment where Margarita had used her staff in clocking Jiren across the head with, to such an extreme extent that Jiren was literally shown getting knocked out from that point on, as Margarita went on to comment, sleep now, warrior, and remember, go back to the beginning and let it all go. Jiren, Lord Belmont, what did she just do to him, Toppo asks. Wake up, Jiren, stand back up, don't let this consume you. As all the while deep within Jiren's consciousness, Margarita's voice went on to then tell Jiren, go back to the beginning, Jiren, and let it all go. Wake up, Jiren, wake up. As Jiren in fact went on to wake up by asking, where am I? What is this place? But then, unbeknownst to Jiren, it appeared as though an individual had gone and bumping into him, as Jiren went on to turn around by responding, that energy and that heat. I know that from somewhere. Wait, what? It's you, Son Goku, but how are you here? Is this some kind of a dream? Jiren asks. It can't be, but I can see you, he says. Just what the hell is going on here, Jiren shouts. I haven't forgotten about our rematch, Goku. If this is where you want to settle things, then far be it from me to keep you waiting, Jiren shouts. But it only appears as though Jiren truly doesn't know what's happening here, because the moment Jiren had followed through in his attempts of striking Goku, with all of Jiren's punches being shown having to go right through Goku, that's when Jiren went on to ask, what? It slipped right through. No, not like this. Fight me, Son Goku. I demand for our rematch to happen right here, right now. But despite Jiren's best efforts in having to attempt to do so, it didn't appear as though any of his punches were able to make contact, as Jiren went on to ask, what the hell is going on here? Why are my punches just slipping right through him? It's as though I am fighting a ghost, he says. Is this really him? Is this really Son Goku? To where it was only then where Goku's back was shown facing Jiren, as Goku went on to tell him, go back to the beginning, Jiren, and let it all go. Set yourself free, with Jiren responding, now you're saying it too? No. That does it. I've had enough of these games, Jiren shouts. Stop taking me for a fool and fight, Son Goku. I will shatter through this place once I get my hands on you. As it was only during that moment, before Jiren could even process as to what had happened, where Jiren went on to shout, what? As it was only then, right then and there during that moment, where instead of having to confront and go up against Goku, Jiren had in fact now come face to face with his old master Geechen, as Jiren went on to shout, what? It can't be. Come now, Jiren, Geechen says. Did I not teach you better than this? Tame your aggression, young warrior. To where as soon as Geechen had gone and slowly having to lower Jiren's arm, that's when he went on to tell him, my word, Jiren, how much you've grown since I last saw you here. Lower your hand, my boy. There is no need for such things right now, with Jiren responding, there's no way this is truly happening before my very eyes. How do I know this is real, Jiren asks. How do I know that you are truly Master Geechen? Answer now, with Geechen responding, I am indeed real, my boy. And if you truly feel curious about my presence before you, then why don't you find out for yourself then? I have no intention to harm you, Jiren, but if you truly want answers as to whether or not I truly stand before you, then come forward and see, Geechen says, to where this was exactly what Jiren had gone in doing, because as Jiren had then slowly began to approach Geechen, in being shown having to extend his arm out to make sure that this in fact was real, that's when Jiren went on to comment, this must be a trick, it just has to be. Son Goku was just here, and now you? It can't be true. But lo and behold, as Jiren had gone in placing his hand on Geechen's chest, it was only within that moment where Geechen went on to ask him, tell me now, my boy, is this real to you now? Control your emotions, Jiren. You are allowing your sorrows to get in the way of what is truly in front of you. Are you beginning to see? Geechen asks. I felt you, and I can really feel you, Jiren says. You're real, Master Geechen. It's really you. I'm sorry. Now, Jiren, Geechen says, there is nothing for you to be sorry about, especially for all the things you've went through. You have grown beyond my wildest expectations, Jiren, and you have done it all by yourself. However, you cannot shut those who are willing to help you out of your life, he says. True strength comes from those who are willing to make the necessary sacrifices that are needed in order to create a better world for not just themselves, but for others around them, Jiren. Your body is strong, but your mind is not. Tell me something. Why do you let your past haunt you? With Jiren responding, it haunts me because it is a painful reminder that nothing is ever promised to last forever. That at any moment, anyone could either walk away or be taken away from you, no matter the cause, he says. But those who remain shouldn't pay the price either, Jiren, Geechen says. Those you call the Pride Troopers, they care about you, my boy. The Destroyer, along with his angel, care about you. They only want the best for you because they've seen who you truly are and what you mean to them, he says. We cannot change what has already happened. You are beyond your past, Jiren. Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. Remember everything that you have faced, all of the battles you have won, and all of the fears that you have overcome. No amount of worrying about it happening again will change the outcome of the future. We must learn to accept our past in order to awaken the potential of what lies ahead in the future, Geechen says. You have the ability to achieve great things, Jiren, along with the potential to become the greatest to ever live. But in order for you to become such things, you have to let it go. I am starting to see now, Jiren says. I understand. The power lies within you, Geechen tells him. It always has and always will. But there is one thing that I've always wanted to tell you ever since the day I took you in and watched you grow into your own, he says. You have made me proud, my boy. I am honored to call you both a student and a friend. Thank you for your friendship and thank you for your efforts in keeping my legacy alive within you. I am proud of you, Jiren. Thank you for everything, Jiren. I will never forget you, and I will always live on within your memory, Geechen says. But remember, and always remember, let it go. To where as soon as Jiren had then gone and turning around, that's when Jiren went on to respond, Master Geechen, wait, I still need to ask. He's gone. This was all I ever wanted, Jiren says. My lifelong mission to avenge you and honor your name. To have you see how far I've come. Thank you, Jiren says. Thank you for giving me the strength I need to push, Master. I now know, Jiren says. I now understand what I need to do and what it truly means to let go. As the very moment we then see how Jiren had gone in slowly beginning to close his eyes, over on the outside world, that was when Angel Margarita went on to look at Jiren's body by responding, this energy, the heat radiating from Jiren's body. He did it. He's finally done it. His spirit is calm. His burdens have been lifted and his ascension is complete. That's it. That's the way, Jiren. Find your calling, Margarita says. Rise through the fire and lift yourself above horizons. Nothing will ever break you as long as you are able to rise. It's time, Jiren. It's been a long time coming, and now that time has finally come. Rise, Margarita says, as even Belmont went on to chime in, could it really be true? That energy, it's similar to Son Goku's from the Tournament of Power. He's done it. The ultimate power, Belmont says. Ultra Instinct. In which, as we then see how Jiren was now back on his feet, that's when Margarita went on to tell him, you have mastered your emotions just as it was intended, and through it all, you have now reached the peak of power. You have obtained Ultra Instinct, the ultimate power of the gods, the ultimate weapon of the angels, she says. You are now one with your true self. Jiren, look at you, Toppo says. What incredible power. I shouldn't be surprised, but is there anything you can't do? He's finally done it, and now let's see what he intends to do with this power. You never cease to amaze me, Jiren. So, this is my true power, Jiren says. Amazing, but it was only then where out of nowhere, Angel Margarita had gone in, leaping forward and dashing towards Jiren by telling him, and now to help you perfect this great power, hold nothing back and fight using your resolve, Jiren. To where this time, as Margarita was shown having to attempt to punch Jiren, with Jiren shown having to move out of the way, Toppo himself could not believe this, as Toppo went on to comment, I can't believe it, look at the difference. Jiren was actually able to avoid Margarita's attack. The difference is indeed stark, Belmont says, but there is much more that needs to be done in order to ensure that Jiren doesn't lose this power either, he says. We are to make sure that Jiren never loses to anyone ever again. And that's exactly what we will do, he says. Just look at him move out there. In which even Margarita herself was seemingly impressed, as Margarita went on to tell him, my word, very good, Jiren. Maintaining such a power won't come easy, especially on your body if it isn't trained to hold it. So I think you know what our next lesson will already be, she says. Mastering this power is very crucial if you hope to battle and win against those who bear the same power, Jiren. I am ready, Jiren says. Nothing will stand in my way of perfecting this power and becoming the strongest within the multiverse. Now teach me, with Margarita responding, then I will need for you to follow my every command and listen to your instincts during the course of this battle. If Goku was able to master this power within such a short amount of time of gaining it, then so can you, Jiren. As with Jiren then shown getting into fighting position, he then went on to respond, I'm ready. Good, Margarita says. Now use your power to guide you. I want you to show me everything that you can do, Jiren. As with Margarita also then being shown having to get into fighting position, it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of Jiren's Ascension Manga Chapter number 2 special then comes to a close. Now, make no mistake about it, what I really enjoyed about this manga chapter was actually seeing how Jiren was able to connect with Geechen and finally being able to gain the one thing that Jiren had been seeking from his master this entire time, and that was admiration, to be acknowledged and to also be accepted in knowing the fact that Geechen was in fact proud of Jiren, especially with how far he's come, but also seeing the life lesson be bestowed upon Jiren in letting go of the past by accepting what once was, in moving forward towards a better future. The question now ultimately becomes, how far is Jiren willing to go in order to now master this power with Margarita? To where I also want to know down the comment section below from you guys, as an example, if you believe that someone like Geechen should ever return in Dragon Ball Super, or do you believe that Jiren is better off with his current friends and God of Destruction and Angel now, without the acknowledgement of his once master, which was something that Jiren had always wanted ever since he was little. So again, I do want to go ahead and thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your time. As if of course you guys just so happen to also be new to the channel, then I do encourage you guys to go on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon. That way you guys never miss a single video that's posted onto this channel. On top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up right now by smashing that like button down below if you guys are excited for the third and final manga chapter of this story, because I can promise you this right now, it's going to be an interesting one. So again, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for watching. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.